Hi there. Today we're going to be making some homemade salsa. And the ingredients you'll need for this is 1 can of crushed tomatoes, or you can use a can of diced tomatoes with jalapenos. That's what I usually use, but I messed up today and I'd use the crushed tomatoes, so we're going to improvise with that. Then you'll need some crushed red peppers. You'll need some garlic powder, and I would add onion powder too, but I didn't have any. And then you can add some cilantro. Cilantro is really a key ingredient for this salsa. It really adds to the flavor. And then you're going to need some limes. Those are 2 little key limes, and a jalapeno, 1 whole jalapeno. And then you can mix this either in your blender, or I have this handheld blender that I'll be using. But right now I'm going to open up the crushed tomatoes. And then once those are open, you're going to put them either in your blender, food processor, or if you have something like this, you can use this. I just do this because I just put this container right in the fridge. And let me tell you, this salsa doesn't last long. It's pretty yummy. Okay, so I added the crushed tomatoes, and again, you can use a can of diced tomatoes, or diced tomatoes with jalapenos is what I really like using, but I had to improvise today. So we used crushed tomatoes, and it turned out really good too. So yeah, don't use the diced tomato, or use the diced tomatoes, or use the crushed tomatoes. I didn't have room for both, so I just used the crushed tomatoes. Okay, after the crushed tomatoes, I'm going to add the crushed red peppers. And you can add those or leave them out. It depends on how spicy you like your salsa. We like ours a little on the spicy side. So I'm sprinkling those right in there. And I find it easier just to mix right in the blender you're going to be using, rather than get 2 bowls dirty. And then I'm going to add a sprinkle of garlic powder, and this is where you'd add your onion powder if you have that. And next we're going to squeeze some lime juice in there, and you can use, if you don't have limes, you can use the jar of lime juice, or you can use lemons instead. I've made it many times with lemon juice. So I'm going to squeeze the juice from that lime in there, and that helps to preserve it as well as giving it a nice flavor. And I'm doing, these are just tiny limes, they're key limes. They were 20 for $1. That was unbelievable. So I've been putting them in my waters, and it's really good. And get that right in there. Squirt that juice right in that container. And squeeze some more of that in there. Get all that juice out. Okay, now we're going to cut up a jalapeno. And again, this is depends on how spicy you want it. If you don't like it real spicy, just use half a jalapeno. But I'm using a whole jalapeno for this. I usually have jars of pickled jalapenos in the fridge, but I ran out, so I'm just cutting a fresh one. And you can get the canned, what are they called? The canned diced tomatoes with the jalapenos in it, or the canned diced tomatoes with jalapenos in it are under $1 at Walmart. And also the big can of crushed tomatoes are like $1.37 at Walmart. And I also use that for spaghetti. I use that crushed tomatoes for everything. And I just cut up some cilantro. So like I said, cilantro really makes the salsa. So I highly recommend not omitting the cilantro. And then blend it to the thickness you want it. If you want it a little chunky, don't blend it as long. If you want it smoother, blend it longer. Okay, and then I'm gonna put the lid on and blend away. I can't remember where I got this cool little gadget from, but I love it, especially for salsa. It works really good. Yeah, I think I might have got it on Temu a long time ago. But yeah, you just pull that. And that's good. I mean, if your electricity goes out, this is a handy thing to have. So it has blades on the end. This is going to take me a minute to get it all chopped up. So you can see it in there. I just pull that string and it chops it all up. Yeah, pretty cool. And that's all you gotta do. Once you have it mixed up, once you chop everything up, put it in your container, you mix it, and then you'll have fresh salsa. And it's cheaper and 100 times better than store-bought, in my opinion. I hope everybody that's affected by those storms are doing okay. I've been watching the news on the storms, and I hope everyone's staying safe and warm. I hope you didn't lose electricity. Okay, and there it is. I'm going to stir it. There was a loose cilantro leaf I'm mixing in there. So, there it is. Mine's a little on the chunky side. I'll give it a little taste. Delicious. Thank you for watching my video. Have a beautiful day.